Welcome to this look at a new map and its accompanying mod pack on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on Tassi Farm. This is by Carl TG and WikkyPlays, 282.28 megabyte download. Now this is a joint operation today because I'm also going to be showing you in this map tour the mod review of the Peat equipment pack. I've recorded this in two different phases, so it's kind of all over the place. The Peat equipment pack is by Carl TG, NMC, T-Bone and WikkyPlays, 25.38 megabytes download. Now, whilst not a required mod for this map, if you want to do a portion of what you can do on this map, you will need the pack. But they haven't made it required, which is a nice option, I think, to have, which doesn't add a huge amount on. We are at the start farm. The map looks like this. So we start here at the start farm, and the main farm area here, which includes this cow pen pasture, and it's the entire pasture as well. I put in on my practice run through about 40 cows to take a thumbnail image, and I couldn't find them. It's a massive, massive field. Anyway, this is only 40-something grand for the main farm, 46,744. So if you come onto a farm manager and start from scratch and you don't own the land, it's not expensive to buy. But on new farm, we do start with this field here, this field here. Do we start with another one further down? No, I think it's just those ones. There are some NPCs on the map as well. As you can see, there's plenty of fields for doing arable. So if you want to do arable, there are some forestry plots, as you can see, and again, not horrendously expensive. The field plots aren't horrendously expensive, which I like. And then we've got these areas down here. This area, so it's kind of a blend between your arable, forestry. You've got an extra crop, so to speak, but it's kind of a frontier. Build it yourself. It's a base for doing other things. We've got one sort of cluster of sell points and stuff down the bottom. It's nice and flat, the map. So this plot here, for example, 143 grand. That's all like grassland with trees and bushes and stuff like that. So if you want to make new fields, or you want to put a housing estate, or you want to, whatever you want to do, there is more scope to do it. And then you've got this plot here. Now this plot here is the addition. So this is the peat. And you can do your peat harvesting, which we're going to get onto later on. So I'm going to do the map tour. When we get to there, I'm going to cut into the sort of mod review so you can see what the equipment is, how it works, and how it interacts with this map. It's why I didn't do it separately. I could have done it in the mod review and said, look, here's the equipment from the Peat equipment pack, but can't show you it in operation unless I'm on this map, and then any other maps to follow. So this plot here, for all of the peat fields, 371,000. So we'll get that straight away. And shall we get cracking around and have a look? Like I say, there's not a huge amount. It's a very pretty map as well. It's another one of those ones. It's set in Estonia. And what I was looking up how to pronounce Tassi. And Estonia is just across one of the inlets of the Baltic Sea from Finland. It borders Russia. And Tassi in Finnish means tic-tac-toe. That's the only sort of conversion I could find for it, but it's Tassi anyway. So it's set in Estonia. Now the main farm here, all three, did I mention already? All three game modes, the slot count is the same, 1092. So you start with all the same equipment and machinery, all the buildings and everything, but all the buildings here are removable, including the cowshed, everything. And all the decorative objects. You can click on it, remove all the decorative objects. I got the slot count down from 1092 to 812. So as a starter map, I have to say, I mean, I would leave the farm on here because I absolutely love it. I think it's very, very cool. So start equipment, we'll go around on the Aprilia. We have got a pickup as well. The main farm here, we can go into the farm buildings. A lovely little farmhouse as well. Go into here, we do have some lights. There we go. Kitchen, diner, living space, and then was it this door here, which is whatever what it was. We've got bedroom, sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger just tucked away in here. That door didn't open if I recall correctly. So shed, barn and building space, we've got, like I say, we've got a few sheds and barns and things as we go around. I don't think we can access this one, but it is removable. So as we come around this side, like I say, all the decorative stuff is removable. So you might want to do part of your narrative, you're clearing it all up, and then gradually you kind of get rid of stuff. It's up to you. Replace the barns and buildings, or leave as it is. Water tanker, we have got Our feed mixer, we've got a slurry spreader just here. The cow barn pen pasture does 464 cows of your choice. Like I say, this goes all the way down, right the way down to the road. It's a massive, massive pen. The fences can be removed, so if you'd rather have it as a more open pen, you can. That's up to you. Forage rack in there, we kind of walked past. I wasn't trying to gloss over it. But we do have, there's equipment and machinery dotted all over the place. Milk tanker just there. Got some mowing equipment. Like I say, it's just all over. It has a really nice feel, like it's a proper working farm. You know, equipment and machinery has been put down as it's been unhooked. We've got our seeder here. We do start with, bizarre enough, because it's quite a small farm. I wasn't expecting this. We've got McCormick there. If we come round, we've got well, the header and header trailers there. We've got cultivators and things, and like I said, there's bits all over the place. Open these up. There we go. We've got a stayer, and we've got a case. So that's 3 tractors, and fair-sized tractors as well. The harvester is just tucked away here. We do start with the telehandler, again, very handy, with some telehandler tools as well. We come up to the back here, we've got a trailer for our crops, and another tractor, a Deutzfahr. Silo is a 300,000 litre standard crop type, and it is built into the map. So now's a good time, not built into the map, it's included in the map. So now's a good time to talk about build mode. So we're going to our build mode. Under sheds, down at the very bottom, you'll see there, we've got the farm shed under Tassi farm mod. So we go to silos, this is where you'll find the silos. No silo extension. So for 85 grand, 300,000 litre, and let's say is a standard crop type. If we go across from there to farmhouses, we have got the farmhouse just there, added onto the map. If we come down to our animals, the cow barn pen that we just saw is just there. That's oh yeah, of course. It says 40. If you leave it as it is, it's 40. But because it's taken in that entire field, that's why it's gone up to 400 and something. I was going to say, that's weird. What else have we got? Oh yeah, the other thing was, if we come down to there was nothing under fences, lights, decoration, or anything like that. And I found, are these on the base camp? I'm trying to think now. We've got the flagstones there and some plates there. And I don't think there was anything added in under trees or plants. So that's your build mode stuff, kind of done, allocated. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the. I always do my map tours in a pickup. So let's go. You normally pick up or a tractor. The fact we start with a motorbike, let's go with that. So let's whiz off now. Like I say, as far as the farms go, there's only the one farm. I haven't found any more animal pastures anywhere. But like I said, the landscape is a really nice blend between forestry sections, open fields, and it is nice and flat. So as far as it goes with wanting to, build stuff and add things in, it's got a lot of character, which I'm liking. Like I said, there are NPCs, and we're going to, to be fair, most of what I'm going to show you now, until we get down to the main sort of sell point area, is going to be going and having a look at the NPCs. There's a curious thing. So Walter's here. His little building. If you want to have a chat to Walter about stuff, you can. We're going to head south. I'll show you where we've been. I always do on the map tour. We're going to cut across the map in a little while, across that section I was saying about, which is kind of open ground. It's not kind of all just grassland. It's not a grass field. It's just open space that you can then do what you want. I love the fact as well, the number plate on the back of this, hog. Little ning 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 ning. It's not, hog territory. Let's go across here. I think we're going to take the first fork. Yeah. So yeah, as far as it goes then with there's no sawmill. There's a wood sell point. There's no sawmill. There's no biogas plant. There's nothing like that. So as far as making it your own, building it into whatever you want to, adding in productions and sell points and whatever you want to do, there's a huge amount of scope for it. But what I will say as well, there's some very strange bits. It's like, You're right. We all thought David was creepy. I mean, I say that. That's a sweeping statement. David's creepy. But anyway, David's here. You can chat to David. But David's got a mate. And David's mate just stands over by that shed and sways ever so gently. You can't talk to him. You can't say anything to him. He just lurks. But he's not the only one either. It just made me smile. I kind of thought, as if David wasn't creepy enough already. David's mate, that quite clearly lives in that shed, by the look of things. Now we come a bit further along, around here, we come to Ben, so we can have a chat to Ben as well. And pretty much all the land is buyable, so if you want to add bits and bobs in, wherever you want, go for it. So Ben lives just here. You can come have a chat with Ben at any point if you want. He's just here. So we are on the map. We went up the main road up there to Walter. There's no sell points. We went up there, came back down there, along there, took this fork down past David here. So all this land here, all across here, is all this. If it was Africa, it would be savannah. It's that kind of, it's just open grassland. There's a few trees dotted around. If you wanted to use it for fields and plough your own fields out or whatever, it's not going to take a lot of work. You haven't got to remove hundreds of trees to be able to do it. And there are mulches and various different bits to allow you to do that. So I think, yeah, it's pretty cool. It works. So when you cut across, I've got to be careful because there's a couple of bits where there's, like here, like a water course. Motorbike doesn't like the water course very much. And I'll go around the field here. So we're kind of cutting across the bottom towards the sell point area. I think we've got another one here, have we? Nope, we're all right. Oh no, a little bit. I just don't want to catapult myself off into some other dimension, you know. It happens. And then I think as we get across to here, to the sell point area, there's another little water course here that I've got to be careful of. But like I say, I think the colour palette works really well. The texture and lighting, I think the colour palette's spot on. It's not overly colourful. It's not too drab. It just, yeah, I like it. It has a feel of a lot of the Polish maps we get. And that's no bad thing, if you ask me. Vehicle workshop trigger is just there for buying and selling, or buying of equipment, not selling. This is your sell point. So this is your storage bay sell point. We're going to come back to that later on the bit that I recorded earlier. Oh yeah, here we go, look. So Katie's here. If you want to chat to Katie, animal dealer, livestock market is just there. So Katie's here. But again, this is all flat. I think, can we buy this land? I don't know if we can buy this plot, actually. If we buy that, we can do that. That. I think we go around it, actually. I was going to say you might be able to put another sell point. But there's plenty of land around. You can put a sell point anywhere you like, really, I suppose, can't you? Yeah, this guy here. I don't know if he does the workshop stuff. Oh, no. Oh, the guy that was here before was in overalls. Maybe that's just where the MP... Oh, looks like she's having a good old chat to herself. Why is everyone Tassi bonkers? Anyway, so it's the livestock market. I'm joking, of course. Fuel point is just here. Workshop trigger is just over here. This is the reset point for the map. Your vehicles will reset over in that corner, but there's plenty of open space. You shouldn't have any worries whatsoever. And then we've got a wood sell point just here. So like I say, there's not a sawmill. There is a wood sell point. So again, you can then pick and choose what sawmills you want to put on, whether it's modded, whether it's base game. If you want a biogas plant, pick what you want. Go for the mini one from Disturbed Simulations, or there's the whole modular setup. There's a whole ton of stuff. So what we're going to do now, we came right the way across the bottom to here. We're going to take this road up. Noah lives here, just off the main road. And then we're going to go up to here, and we're going to turn into the Peat fields. And that's where we're going to... I mean, to be fair, I think I'm saying it's a map tour and mod review, which I suppose technically it is. We are going to be looking at the mods. But had these mods been built into the map? Because sometimes you go into, if you go into your menu here, and you scroll down, or you go into your vehicle menu and scroll down, like there it says mods and DLCs. If that was built into the map, I'd have to show you anyway. I'd be like, you need to have a look at this equipment because it's important. It's part of the map and it's part of what you do. The fact it is a separate mod, regardless, I'm going to be showing it to you. All I'm saying is, what I don't want people to do is go, oh, well, that's the map tour over. I'm not interested in the mod review. The mods are inextricably linked to the map. And I would say, if you want to come and play on the map, or you're thinking about playing the map, you want to watch that bit because it's very important. It may help you make your decision. So turning just off the side here, it's where Noah lives. Now Noah's normally associated with the sawmill, so it might be, you might say, well, if Noah's out this way, I can clear a bit of land, put in the sawmill maybe. Again, that's up to you. So let's whiz out to the peat fields and see what's what. Should wear a motorcycle helmet really here. To be fair, if I fell off my bike and got concussion, I don't think I'd notice. Let's be honest. Might knock some sense into me, you never know. Right, so let's turn up here. We've already purchased the land, which is good. So it all looks like this, and it's you've got these deep sort of cut areas. You have to be careful of these because whoa, whoa. Last thing I want to do is get off my bike and fall down in there. That's not what I want. So let's hop off the bike. So these are your peat fields. So what we're going to do now is magic of editing, maybe. And so, via the magic of editing and dizziness, we come to the final part. We're at the peat fields. And so, this is the map tour and mod review kind of all rolled into one. So, we are, well, I've already shown you on the map, but this whole plot here, this is all peat fields. Now, a couple of things we're going to do. Haven't done it yet, but by the end of this map tour, we will know, hopefully. If we go onto our growth, you'll see that the fields are showing as growing. And it says ready to harvest, and in doing that, it's saying harvested. So, do we regrow peat? Will it regrow? And this is why I said about the mod review. Someone messaged me and said, "Why did you not do the peat stuff in the mod review?" Because it's specific to this map, and these things I could only find out if I was on this map. I could have shown you the equipment, absolutely, but I couldn't show you operating. So I thought, you know what, we'll roll it into the map tour. Had the map been more complicated, bigger, more sell points, and it was going to be an hour-long map tour, I would have done the mod review separately, but no, we can fit it all in. So it'll be absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do at the end is we're going to skip ahead and see if what we've done regrows, or if this is a one-shot deal. I mean, there's a lot here, don't get me wrong. But is it like forestry in that? Well, I say even with forestry, you can replant trees, can't you? But no, like I say, we'll see. So here's the thing. Here's our equipment and machinery. Now it does say in the description for the equipment and machinery in the Peat equipment pack that this is kind of a base level version. It does say right at the very bottom. It says this mod pack will be upgraded and made more advanced in the future. I hope you enjoyed this mod. So, what do we have in the pack? Well, we have this here. This is the sort of peat harvesting module. The production miller, 9M, 6 slots, 9 meters wide. You may laugh at that. 9M, it is 9 meters wide because the next one is a little bit, well, I mean tiny, a fraction different. And I think in the real world, these kind of they slice the peat. It comes sort of out in chunks, is sort of how it works usually. And the peat is used for all sorts of stuff. It's used for composting and sort of soil in gardening. It can be compacted into pellets and burnt as a fuel source. It's used in some chemical productions. There are certain things that require peat for chemical productions. There's all sorts of stuff that peat is used for. You have to be very careful in peaty areas because of fires. If you start fires in forest areas where there's peat under the ground, peat fires can burn under the ground for decades. And if they happen to come up to the surface, you can have really bad fires. I mean, that's just additional information. Thought I'd throw that in there. We have got the peat ridger, which is this. So as you can see, I'll show you it in operation in just a moment. But as we use our miller, the miller mills the peat and brings it up to the surface. And the ridger will then ridge it into windrows. It's basically a peat windrower. And then that piece of equipment on there, which does say all the equipment should be transported on the low loader because it's not road legal. And you can see none of this folds. These don't fold up. That doesn't fold up. I don't know whether in the future it will, because I looked and thought, well, this bottom section does have almost like bushings or pivots, but it looks like it might be fixed. The top section is definitely a fixed frame. So yeah, probably all should go on that trailer. So then finally we got this, well not finally because we've got the trailer as well. We've got this here. This is the JMK 40. It's 3 slots, 1.2 meters wide, pickup. 45,000 litre capacity. That is your collector for the peat. Now, I don't think. Well, we'll try it. I don't know if it's got an option. Oh, it might have actually to unload. So for lifting, I don't know if it lifts and unloads into a trailer, or we can just unload it as this. So on this map specifically, and it does say map makers are free to use if they want to add peat onto their maps. You then ask the question, but is it worth doing? The equipment's not that expensive, to be fair. And then finally, we've got the low loader. Now, the low loader is a weapon of a bit of kit. I mean, it's absolutely... It's huge! Look at it! What a bit of kit. So, all of this stuff you will find up here. If we go up to the top two low loaders is where you'll find the Load King, 87,500. Options on this. On the back, we've got a little gap in the middle on the ramps, or we can have that filled. And then rim colour option and license plate. But that's quite the platform. What I like as well is the fact it's got this front section, so you can actually bring the entire tractor up onto it as well and strap the whole lot down. If you get it just right, when these come up, it doesn't actually touch that. I mean we're close. And then the rest of the stuff is found under the miscellaneous section just here. So there you go. There's your miller, 30,500. So it's not... The thing is, to get into doing this, it's not catastrophically expensive. It's not like you've got to buy a harvesting machine that's going to cost you 500,000 or, silly money. So the options on that, there are none. It comes to us as it is, 150 horsepower required for the milling machine. We've got our Ridger, 35 grand. Again, no options, 100 horsepower required on that. Now that says it's the 6M, but it's 6.2 metres. I mean, let's say it's 2. Don't worry about it. And then the JMK40, as I've already said, 45,000 litre capacity, 130 horsepower required to operate this. And then we'll have a look. It looks like that side does open. We'll try it all out. So, what we'll actually do, let's unload this first. Start our engine. Let's undo our tension straps. So, L1 and fold flatbed does that. It's actually the opposite way around, isn't it? Unfold and fold is the other way around. Not that it matters, really. Turn the engine off. Let's hop up into this. Then we'll bring this down. So I suppose, yeah, you should bring each piece of equipment on this one at a time, but it's up to you. Let's have a look. Do we have to unload here? Let's unload here. What does that do? Oh, so it just opens the side. So that's only then really going to work to tip into a sell point. Unless you tip in, but then if you tip a massive pile on the floor, I suppose the question's got to be asked then, why would you bother ridging it, picking it up, if you're going to put in a big pile on the floor for a conveyor belt to pick up? I suppose that seems, well, maybe. The other thing potentially to try, and obviously this is not part of the pack, is the lizard forage pickup by Fluffy Mods, whether that would pick this up and throw it into a trailer, potentially. Now, the other thing I thought I'd better check as well as part of this pack, not that it would act as compost, because peat is more of a soil, I suppose, maybe. Peat's full of a lot of nutrients and stuff like that. That's why it's used a lot in gardening and allotments and stuff like that. What I thought I would double check, just to make sure, is under our manure spreaders, does it have the option, because sometimes you get maps and you have manure and compost can be used in the muck spreaders. It's not showing peat under here, so as far as I know, this will just be to sell. So again, well, not again, but the knock on then is, I guess people are going to want to know, well, let's get it running in a moment, is it worth doing? What's peat worth? Well, buckle in, people. Peat, we're on peat now. Across the right hand side, storage bay we've already been to, 23,316, that says. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a load into here. We'll take it down and sell it. That'll be how we'll end on the map tour. But what I'll do, let's continue on with this. Just to show you how it operates. Let's turn it on. Start the engine. Turn it on. You can raise and lower it. It's on the 3-point. And then I say this just comes across. And then what I will do as well, before, or maybe after, before, we'll speed up time and see if these replenish. Like I say, the fact they're showing as harvested, but I don't know, I can't imagine you would need to fertilise the fields. It's not really showing. I guess the other thing to check on here, let's go back up to that, go across to our soil composition. See, soil composition is not showing anything. It's not showing us fertilised at all anywhere. Hotspots, unknown. I mean, I guess just skipping ahead to see if it kind of regrows itself would be important. If it does, then I would then potentially look at doing a fertilising thing on it as well. But all I'm doing is looking at the actual mod pack to see what it does. There you go. That's your cutter. That's your miller. So that's going to mill all your stuff. Turn it off. Move that out of the way. Like I said, it doesn't fill up. Doesn't fold up, so be careful. And mind the big old ditches between. And then our ridger does exactly that. I mean, you can see already what it does. It's fairly straightforward. We'll start this up, raise that up. So that's it raised. Turn it on. I assume it sounds like, I don't know, maybe it literally is just a friction scoop. It sounds like it's sort of, maybe the sides vibrate or something. I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. And I'm also curious then to see when we come to collect it, pick it all up, just how much is in a ridge, you know? Is it a huge amount of peat we're picking up, or is it not? Are we going to have to do loads and loads and loads to get a decent amount of peat? Because the price may be very good, but if we've got to do half a field to get 1,000 litres, then you're starting to think, okay, well, like I say, that's probably why it's worth so much. It's a lot of land. But anyway. And there's no seeder or planter for seeding or planting peat. It's not, you know, I think it's just these peat fields just here. So we'll pick it up. We'll have a look. I now know that I've got to make sure the first part of this, because I'm doing this is in a very strange order. I've got to make sure that the first part of this is recorded fairly quickly. But we get, I mean, there's not a lot, like I say. I mean, you'll already know that. You've already seen it, but... So... we turn it on. And we drop that back bit down. So we actually drive over it, and it picks up from the back. Like a big old Hoover. It's a Peat Hoover. Well, actually, it's not too bad. Like I say, I wasn't sure what we'd be looking at. I mean, if that price is correct, if that is per 1,000 litres, you're going to make an absolute fortune doing this. But I guess if it doesn't regrow and it is a one-shot deal, if it genuinely is that much per 1,000, you'll pay for your equipment in, you know, well, very little at all. I would imagine what we're doing now will pay for the field. Pay for the equipment. So, we've picked up a little bit. As you can see, it's hoovering it all up. So that's the piece of equipment. That's the stuff in the pack. This is the map it works on at the moment. Whether there will be others, possibly we might get some more from Carl TG that will do it. So let's raise that up. Do that. I'll see over at the store in a moment. We'll open the side up and unload it into the store and see what we get paid, because I am now incredibly curious. Let us see, shall we? It should give us the option to unload and to sell. There we go. Peat. Should see the money go booning up. So this is unloading. Oh my days. What the? Yep, that's right. Those figures can't be right, surely. That's, I mean, is it worth doing Peat here on this map? 100%. Come on to Tassi and do some Peat work. You can earn a fortune. Then take your money off to another map. Whatever you do. No, it's up to you. It's a pretty map anyway. So, I probably said that. I'm going to skip ahead time and we'll see if it regrows. I'll do a couple of months, do 3 months. I might go up to 6 months, see what happens. If nothing happens, fine. We'll end the video there. We'll talk about it. I have skipped ahead 1 month and it is showing growing and it is showing dark on there as well. So the other thing Surely if you put fertilizer on it, you don't get a higher yield than that. I'm going to grab a fertilizer spreader, and I'm going to see if it will take fertilizer from the ground. Surely not. Okay, it's a no to fertilizer. It had already gone into a growth stage, as you've already saw. So I thought, what I'll do, I'll harvest a bit fresh and then try and fertilise. See if that, but it wouldn't take any fertilizer, so that's fine. We can tick that off the list. We're 2 months in, so August, September, October, and yep, regrown, replenished. The bit that I had originally harvested and we collected, I'm now going back over. So yes, the peat will replace itself. It will regrow, in inverted commas, in 2 months. So there you go. That's the peat equipment pack. It is not a required mod for the map, and I said that right at the very start of the map tour. But if you want to do the peat work, it technically is. So it depends. If you don't want to do peat work at all, you don't have to have it, and I think that's why they did it separately, because if you're not going to touch the peat stuff at all, you just want to do arable, you want to do forestry, then you don't have to download a mod to do it, but if you do want to, you're going to need to. And that's the map. That's Tassi Farm by Carl TG and WikkyPlays. I hope you found all of this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, I'm off to earn my fortune in peat. Thanks for watching.